I have a lot of trouble getting clothes, and some clothes I have made up. Now that I'm on Golden Girls, they make a lot of stuff for me.
And can you keep it?
No. Some of the things I can.
Okay.
Estelle Getty brought laughter to millions of homes for years as the sharp-tongued Sophia Petrillo on the beloved series The Golden Girls. Still, behind her comedic brilliance, she was struggling. Despite her popularity, Getty secretly harbored doubts about staying on the show, a fact few fans ever suspected. After decades of speculation, the real reason behind Getty's desire to leave the sitcom has finally come to light. What pushed this beloved actress to avoid such an iconic role, and why has this hidden chapter surfaced only now? Join us as we unravel the truth that might change how you see the show forever. Millions of fans loved watching Estelle Getty bring Sophia Petrillo to life with sharp wit and endless charm. But behind the scenes, Getty battled with anxiety, memory struggles, and the fast-paced demands of television work. While she made it all look easy on screen, there were times when the pressure almost pushed her to walk away from the show that made her a household name. Estelle Getty, originally named Estelle Scher, was born on July 25, 1923, and spent her childhood in New York City within a hardworking Jewish family. Her parents, Charles and Sarah Scher, had journeyed from Poland for a better life. Growing up surrounded by the vibrant culture of New York, Estelle quickly fell in love with the world of performance and the arts. Although her family lived modestly with her father working in the glass trade and her mother taking care of the home, Estelle held tightly to her dream of becoming an actress, even though the path ahead would not be easy. Getting into show business was hard for Estelle Getty, especially when Hollywood and Broadway wanted young, pretty actors. She was small, had a unique voice, and was funny, but she did not get many good chances at first. She worked in New York theaters but did not become famous for many years. To make enough money, she worked regular jobs while acting to help support her husband Arthur Tillman and their two sons Carl and Barry. Despite being turned down several times, her love for acting did not make her give up. She took acting classes, got better at comedy, and kept performing in small New York theaters. Her hard work finally paid off in 1982 when writer Harvey Fierstein created a special role just for her in the Broadway show Torch Song Trilogy. She played a caring but pushy Jewish mother. Critics loved her performance, and she was nominated for an award. At last, she got the big break she had worked so hard for. Estelle Getty's excellent acting as Mrs. Beckoff got TV bosses' attention and led to the role that made her famous. In 1985, she joined NBC's TV show The Golden Girls as Sophia Petrillo, the smart and lively mother of Dorothy Zbornak, played by Bea Arthur. With good wigs and clothes that matched Sophia's character, Getty became the role completely. Her breakthrough as Sophia Petrillo would change her life and reshape what audiences expected from television comedy. How did Estelle Getty's portrayal help The Golden Girls become a groundbreaking hit that still holds a special place in people's hearts today? Making Estelle Getty appear much older than Sophia Petrillo required a lot of makeup. This was funny because Getty was younger than Bea Arthur, who played her daughter on the show. But people did not love Sophia because of the makeup. They loved her because she was smart, spoke her mind, and cared deeply about her family. Getty performed exceptionally well. In 1988, she earned an Emmy Award for her role. How she worked with Bea Arthur, Betty White, and Rue McClanahan also helped make The Golden Girls one of the most popular TV shows ever. Another reason why the show was memorable is that it was more than just a funny TV show. It changed people's perception of older women in the movie industry by putting them at the story's center, which was not common back then. The show explored essential topics such as aging, healthcare, finding love later in life, and fairness for everyone. But it made these serious topics funny and heartwarming, so people kept watching every week. For 7 years, it was one of the most popular shows on TV, and it only ended in 1992 when Bea Arthur decided to leave. Even after the main show ended, Getty, Rue McClanahan, and Betty White continued in a new show called The Golden Palace. This new show only lasted 1 year, but it showed how much they cared about keeping the story going. After The Golden Girls concluded, Getty continued to shine in the entertainment world, appearing in numerous popular television series including Empty Nest, Nurses, Blossom, Touched by an Angel, Mad About You, and The Nanny. Her performances across both comedic and dramatic roles demonstrated remarkable versatility, proving that she was not just a one-hit wonder and that her talent extended well beyond Sophia's sharp-tongued quips. Estelle Getty also made her mark in movies, appearing in serious films like Tootsie, Mask, and the action comedy Stop or My Mom Will Shoot alongside Sylvester Stallone. Although the movie did not get great reviews, her funny and charming performance won people over, and over time it became a cult favorite. She also shared her story with fans by writing a book about her life. In it, she talked about the many years of hard work and setbacks she faced before finding fame. The book gave people a real glimpse into who she was beyond Sophia and inspired many with her honesty and resilience. Being famous brought new problems and kept her busy, but it never changed the fact that she was always loyal, kind, and did not give up easily. How did her life story, with all the things she gave up, how hard she worked, and how much she cared about people, make her the kind of woman that everyone would look up to? Estelle Getty was at a fun party with her theater friends in New York when she met Arthur Tillman. He was calm, hardworking, and different from the other men she dated. They liked each other right away and fell in love quickly. Only 9 months later, they married on the 21st of December, 1947. When Estelle started to become more prominent in the movie industry, she decided to change her name. She used her husband Arthur's last name, Tillman, and altered it slightly to Getty, and according to her, that was the best decision she ever made. She and Arthur built a family grounded in love, respect, and shared dreams, welcoming 2 sons, Carl and Barry, into their world. Their early years unfolded in the Bronx, where Estelle juggled her dreams of acting with the demands of motherhood and family life. She mentioned that this period was difficult because as their children grew and their needs changed, Estelle and Arthur knew it was time to find a more stable and nurturing environment to offer security and opportunity for their sons to thrive. The Getty family started their new life in Oakland Gardens, Queens. They moved into Bell Park Gardens, a community built especially for Jewish soldiers who had fought in World War II. This neighborhood was friendly and had a strong sense of community, making it a great place for Estelle and Arthur to raise their children while Estelle also pursued her dreams. In this lively and supportive environment, Estelle's life was influenced by her desire to perform and the stable home she and Arthur created together. Mr. Getty started working with his father-in-law in their family business putting in glass. Meanwhile, Estelle kept trying to become an actress. She balanced small acting jobs with taking care of her family, never giving up on her passion. The entertainment business often did not pay attention to women who did not look a certain way, but Estelle kept trying out for roles despite being turned down. Slowly she made a name for herself in local plays, and people started noticing how funny she was. But everything changed in 1980 when she got a part that would become her most famous and completely change her life. Even though she was famous and won awards, her personal sacrifices became more difficult over time. How did Estelle deal with all the pressure of being famous while still being herself and handling everything she had to give up because she was successful? The real story behind Estelle Getty's rise began when the TV show The Golden Girls started in 1985. Everyone immediately loved it, and suddenly Estelle Getty was famous. Her acting career took off, but it was hard for her personal life. She had to move to California to film the show, but her husband Arthur loved living in New York and stayed there to run their family business. Even though they had been in love for many years, they decided to live in different states so they could both do what was important to them. They had a long-distance marriage from the mid-1980s to the mid-1990s. Even though they were far apart, they still loved each other very much and did well in their lives. Estelle completely embodied the character of Sophia Petrillo. She received high praise from critics, won an Emmy Award, and quickly became a beloved figure worldwide. While Estelle achieved this fame, Arthur continued living in New York and staying connected to his community. Although her demanding career meant they spent much time apart, later on their marriage was strong, built on mutual support and understanding. Sadly, their journey together ended when Arthur passed away on September 24, 2024, at the age of 85. Despite the years they lived separately, Estelle always spoke fondly of Arthur, saying he was her constant source of strength through all her challenges and triumphs. The show is about 4 older women who live together in a house in Miami, Florida. There is Dorothy, who is smart and loves making sharp jokes, Rose, who is sweet but a little clueless, Blanche, who is confident and loves dating, and Sophia, Dorothy's mother, who always has a quick comeback. They move in together after going through big life changes like divorce or losing their husbands, hoping to save money and keep each other company. The show follows their everyday lives dealing with love, family problems, health issues, and getting older, but it mixes the serious moments with many laughs. Millions loved Estelle Getty as the funny and brave Sophia on TV, but not many fans knew that making the show was hard for her when the cameras were not rolling. Unlike the other actresses on the show, Getty had not done much TV before. She was used to acting in plays where they practiced a lot for a long time. TV was much faster, with scripts changing all the time and quick filming. This sometimes made her feel stressed and it was hard to remember her lines. Even though she looked like she was having an easy time acting, there were moments when she thought about quitting the show. She pushed through times when she was afraid, doubted herself, and was tired, but never let the audience see it. What were these complicated things that made Estelle Getty's strength, her sense of humor, and her caring heart such a special and unforgettable part of what made the show great? Behind the bright lights, the challenges Estelle Getty faced on the Golden Girls show were tougher as the years passed. Despite years of working in theater, Getty battled severe stage fright, an unusual struggle for someone so seasoned. The pressure of performing not just in front of cameras but also live studio audiences filled her with anxiety. There were times when she froze during filming, needing several takes to get through a scene, which tested the patience of the crew and her fellow cast members. Although they often showed support, Getty privately wrestled with the feeling that she was falling short of the expectations placed on her. On top of everything, Estelle started having health problems while she was still making the show. Even before doctors said she had early signs of dementia, she often talked about feeling unsure of herself and very stressed by being famous. These struggles made her work on set tougher, but she usually did not let the audience see it. The lively, funny character she played hid how tired she sometimes was, which could make her feel lonely when the cameras were not rolling. Another major hurdle Getty faced was the intense makeup routine she endured to transform into Sophia Petrillo. Unlike her co-stars, Getty was more than a year younger than Bea Arthur, who played her daughter, and the heavy makeup and wigs needed to age her took a serious toll. Each filming day started with long, grueling hours in the makeup chair, and the uncomfortable prosthetics weighed on her physically and emotionally. Over time the process became increasingly draining, yet Getty showed up and delivered performances that audiences would cherish forever. Even though Estelle Getty, like the other actresses on the show, faced difficult moments when they were not filming, sometimes there were disagreements, especially between Getty and Bea Arthur. Bea Arthur was known to be very strong and could sometimes be a bit scary. Even though they had these moments, it never made their acting together on the show any less special. But these little problems were another difficulty that Getty had to deal with while playing Sophia, whom everyone on TV loved. Each day on set was a test of endurance, yet she showed up with the same sharp humor and warmth that fans had come to love. How did she find the strength to keep going when the spotlight sometimes felt heavier than the role behind the smile? Even though Estelle Getty and Bea Arthur respected each other as actors, Getty often found it hard to be around Arthur because Arthur had a strong personality that sometimes made her nervous. This made Getty's stress of being on set even worse. A typical example of the tension was their different approach to acting. Bea was very serious about her acting and liked the set to be quiet so she could focus on her character, but Estelle sometimes had trouble remembering her lines, especially as she got older and her health was not as good. This sometimes caused problems or difficult moments between them. When the Golden Girls ended, Estelle Getty was not sure if she wanted to join the new show The Golden Palace. The producers made her an offer she could not refuse, so she agreed, but her heart was not really in it. She struggled to remember her lines and the stress wore her down. After just one season, she decided to leave. The show ended when she left and marked the end of her television acting career. After the show ended, Estelle Getty struggled more with her memory. At first, people thought she was just nervous or stressed, but over time it became clear that something deeper was wrong. She was later diagnosed with Lewy body dementia, a severe brain disease that affects memory, thinking, and movement. As the illness worsened, Estelle had difficulty remembering people and even holding conversations. She became more withdrawn and stayed out of the public eye. Her friends from the Golden Girls, like Bea Arthur, Betty White, and Rue McClanahan, visited her when they could, but Estelle did not always remember them. By the time she passed away in 2008, she had been fighting dementia for several years. Her family and co-stars often said they missed the sharp, funny woman they knew before the illness took over. The people she played on TV, the things she supported, and the nice things she did stayed with people long after she was gone and even after some memories might have faded. How does one measure the impact of a life that touched so many even after memories fade away? Love, laughter, and loss. Getty was laid to rest at the historic Hollywood Forever Cemetery in Los Angeles, where many of the entertainment world's greatest legends also sleep. Her headstone carries a simple but powerful message, with love and laughter, words that capture the warmth and humor she shared so freely with audiences worldwide. Alongside this tribute, the headstone bears a Star of David, honoring her Jewish heritage and the strong cultural roots that remained a cornerstone of her life. Her grave has since become a special place for fans who visit to remember the joy she brought into their lives. Many people were unfortunate when they heard that Estelle Getty had passed away, but no one felt the loss as much as her co-stars from the Golden Girls, Bea Arthur, Betty White, and Rue McClanahan. They had spent years laughing and sharing life with her, and they talked honestly about how it hurt to see her health get worse. They decided to honor her memory and paid tributes to her, hoping that the world would remember her as a lively, clever, and loving person whose bright spark was slowly removed by her illness. After she passed away, Estelle Getty's former co-stars sadly shared how difficult it was to visit her in her final years. Talking was almost impossible and she no longer recognized them. Her illness had taken away more than just her memories. It had broken the happy, easy connection they once had. But even saddened, they spoke with deep love and respect for Estelle. They remembered her courage, kindness, and humor, saying that the good feelings and impact she left could never be erased by time or her sickness. Estelle Getty's sons Barry and Carl Gettelman have mostly stayed out of the spotlight. Even though their mother became a beloved TV star, they chose to live quiet, private lives. Over the years, they have spoken warmly about Estelle, sharing how proud they were of her success and how much they loved her. Barry, born in 1952, married Allison Rennie in 1984. He lives in Miami, Florida, and has kept his personal and professional life private, rarely giving interviews or publicly appearing. Carl lives in California and, like his brother, has kept a low profile, focusing on his life away from the attention surrounding their mother. Even after her passing, the actual depth of Estelle Getty's impact kept coming to light through her work and the causes she cared about. How did her compassion off-screen help shape the unforgettable legacy she left behind? A legacy that lasted. Friends like Harvey Fierstein and Rosie O'Donnell, well-known voices in the LGBTQ community, often spoke about Estelle Getty's deep commitment to HIV/AIDS activism. Her passion for the cause was personal. She had lost several loved ones to the disease, including her nephew Stephen Schurz, who passed away in 1992, and her Torch Song trilogy co-star Court Miller, who also passed away in 1986. Getty had even cared for her nephew after his diagnosis, showing the same fierce loyalty and compassion in real life that she often portrayed on screen. After Estelle Getty passed away in 2008, her sons Barry and Carl Gettelman encountered challenges settling her estate. Although she had a living trust, it lacked clear instructions on dividing her possessions, leading to disagreements between the brothers. They auctioned many of her belongings through Bonhams and Butterfields to resolve the matter. The auction featured items of sentimental and historical value, including her iconic wicker purse from the Golden Girls, eyeglasses, and Golden Globe nomination certificates. One interesting item sold was Estelle's Emmy Award. The award was sold for about £7,320 to someone who did not want their name known. Later, though, the same Emmy showed up on eBay for a much higher starting price of £15,000, which caused some fuss. The group that gives out the Emmys, the Television Academy, tried to stop the sale because they have a rule that says Emmys still belong to them. However, Estelle had not signed a paper agreeing to this rule, so the sale was allowed. Despite everything she endured, Estelle Getty's legacy remained untarnished. She continued to be celebrated as a beacon of humor and kindness, her quick wit and flawless comedic timing still resonating with audiences worldwide. The Golden Girls is a timeless classic, and Sophia Petrillo, the feisty mother with the sharp tongue and warm heart, remains one of television's most beloved characters. Even in death, Getty's influence is undeniable and her spirit shines brightly through the countless lives she touched. Do you think Estelle Getty's health struggles ever affected her work on the Golden Girls, and would her legacy have been different if her illness had been publicly known earlier? Share your thoughts with us in the comment section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.